Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 5th through the 11th. And during that time, we have a waning gibbous moon, which is a time of self-reflection and rebirth. Good time for us to make positive changes. We're coming off that full moon energy. We're going to get rid of bad habits and negative thinking and just buckle down and work on those things that we've been working on. We get a good portion of the week to do that before we have a little interruption with the last quarter moon. And that's an okay time. It's just a time that we start to reflect, and we're getting to our full potential of those projects that we started during the new moon, and really just again getting rid of those negative emotions, and just thinking how just that final push through, till we get to the waning crescent energy, and then of course the new moon that comes right after. So go ahead and push through, get those projects done that you've been working on. Hopefully you've made the correct adjustments and things are working out for you. All right, this will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Virgo. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table here for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is a time to give rather than take. Okay, let's see what the Virgo Collective has going on. As I'm shuffling today, my fun weekly reminder, Virgo, is that you watch the world for synchronicities, and this could be repeating number patterns. It could be an animal that you see that maybe you don't always see. And if, in that case, I would take the attributes of that animal and apply it to some issue I'm having in my life. It might be a conversation that you overhear. Sometimes just the right words. Someone might be walking past you having a conversation with someone else, and you hear someone say, "Yes, buy the car." And you were thinking about buying the car, and you're like, "Well, that's weird." So those kind of things happen all the time if you're paying attention. And that's really just my fun reminder, is that you pay attention to the synchronicity. So, all right, let's get into this reading. Virgo, April 5th through the 11th, a time to give rather than take. Your present energy right now is pushing through something and wrapping up something here with this 10 of Wands, just giving it that final push. And that's where we are kind of energetically right now with that moon energy. It's like that third quarter is that final push. Let's get something done. Let's get it accomplished so that we can kind of check it off our list and go on to the next thing with the next new moon. So you've got some kind of wrap up here that you're working on. Your current situation right now is the Page of Wands. So you're also, while you're pushing through something, you're also nurturing something that's now new to you, something coming through that's maybe a new passion, that you're taking the time to really nurture and maybe explore a little bit. Is this something I want to get involved with over here? Do I have the time? Do I have the energy? Kind of doing that evaluation. And you might, because you're pushing through on something else. So this is, I would see this as like, let's say that you decided during this new moon to make sure that you are going to exercise according to whatever exercise plan you'd laid out. And you're at that final push where now you've done it for so many weeks that you've kind of created that habit and your body's used to it, and you're excited to do that workout. And now you're like, okay, I've kind of got that under my belt. What's the next thing? And, maybe it is health related. It's like, well, maybe I've got that exercise thing down. Maybe I'll work on some dietary plan, so these could be things in or out, or just things that you're excited about working on. All right. What is that? The root of this situation is the Eight of Wands here. So things are happening very quickly. And hopefully, the things that are happening quickly are successes, successes on the things that you're working through. And just things are coming in quickly. And it could be ideas. You've got, so maybe because of this exercise, and this is just an example, but because of this exercise plan that you're kind of pushing through, that you've kind of made it into a habit. Now you've got new passions because maybe the clothes are fitting a little differently, and now you get to go shopping a little more, or it's making you think, well, maybe I need a haircut. So think of all the things that changing one thing in your life can be a catalyst for, like, now all of a sudden lots of things are changing, and that's always a good thing. In your recent past is the Six of Swords. So you've been moving into your future into this calm way. So whatever this change, it has been, you've had to work on it, of course, but it wasn't like a major something. You've been able to do it, and you're like, okay, that was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. So that's always a good feeling. What is on your mind this week is the Hierophant. So Maybe that's why you're at a tarot reading right now, is you're thinking, okay, where do I go? Like I'm having that, maybe it's another thing on this list of rapid things that are changing. Now that I've got my body in place, I've noticed that when I exercise, I have more time for meditation now. Where how do I want to do that? What method do I want to use? So you might be starting to seek things out, or maybe you're curious about tarot cards and you're watching tarot readings to see how that works. So that's a hi and welcome. But so you're seeking out guidance kind of in the spiritual realm to maybe go along with some change that you're making. And it could be, again, this, I used a physical change as an example, but it could be that you're pushing through to something that is some kind of spiritual change, and things are changing rapidly for you, and so you're seeking out all these different things, like, wow, I've had this revelation and I want to learn everything I can about all these different things. So anyway, tarot is a template, so remember, this can template over different the lives of different Virgos in different ways, right? As far as the subject matter, the energy will remain, of course. What is just ahead of you this week, Virgo? Another 10, something else. You are just done with something. You are done with some new way of being. And honestly, with a reading like this, I wouldn't be surprised to now pull out the Fool card that's taking you on this new journey, or the Magician card that says, what is it that you're trying to manifest? You're wrapping something up. And endings, which are definitely what these 10s are, endings definitely lead to new beginnings. So we'll see if those cards appear in this reading. If not, I wouldn't be surprised to see them next week or the week after. Also, please look up angel number 1010, because that is appearing there as well, two numbers in succession. So what is in your advice position? Ace of Wands. So the advice is to go ahead and grab onto these wands that are coming in. Whatever is happening for you, it's bringing in new passions and new ideas and new things and new ways of being. So reach up and grab one of these. It looks like your page already did and is starting to nurture it. You need to do that as well. So maybe it's kind of, grab the brass ring while you can. Get a hold of those things that are exciting you. You may not be able to participate in every single thing right at one time. We kind of get overexcited. If you're like me, I have like the ADD mindset, where I do get, oh, I want to do this, and all of a sudden I'm just overloaded with things. So just be careful what you say yes to. Be excited, say yes to things, but understand that there's only so much time in a day. Get what you can. We have all of these cycles through the whole year, all of these new moons. We're in April now, but you've got the rest of each new cycle for each month that comes up, to make changes. And so add things slowly, one at a time. It's all going to be fine. It'll all still be there, right? Okay, I'm feeling the excitement of this reading too. What is beyond your control, Virgo, is that you're going to be very stable through this, and also very just financially stable. So through all of this that's going on, you've at least worked to the point to where this isn't something you have to think about. Like, it's almost like your material life is under control. There's a flow to how you live. There's a flow to your bank account, and what, so that's not something that is a big concern right now. That stuff's just kind of happening in the background. You can't not look at it, but it's very stable, very good. It's not a big, huge concern on your mind when these other things are at the moment. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Okay, well, the secret desire is to enjoy the fruits of that labor a little bit. I doubt if you're trying to avoid that, although some people might be. That might be like, maybe you get into trouble because you start indulging a little bit. And so if that's you, also be careful there. But maybe it's your secret desire to just say, hey, I've got the stability that offers me the time to really explore these passions right now. I've worked really hard. Maybe in the past years or few months, my bank account's set. Again, there's a flow to how my life goes, and I can expand on these passions and these things that are really exciting me. So go ahead and do that a little bit. In your outcome position is the Ace of Cups, which means something. You're going to nurture something here that you are just going to love. This could be so many different things, passions. Again, I wish there's just no list of things that people can be passionate about. Maybe you're a musician. Maybe you just have newly discovered an instrument that you've never played before. Now you're newly passionate about it and you love it. You literally love it. So this is just about new things, and it's about enjoying the stability that you have, to take time to wrap up some other things in your life, and to maybe just indulge your passions a little bit, the things that you really like. So whatever that is for you, Virgo, I really hope you take the time to do that. What is hidden from you this week? death card. So that's the ultimate ending, isn't it? But you've got these other endings. So there might be something even bigger on the horizon, that might be ending for you. So take a look around. And by this, it doesn't, of course, the actual death is the ultimate ending, isn't it? But the death card in tarot is typically signifying the death of something, and like a way of being in your life, or something that you do in your life that you're just not going to do that anymore. And again, because we have now, well, this is hidden from you, which is like the really big, but you do have two spaces here of just final endings where you're just pushing through to end something, but it's leading you to new passions. Again, if you come back next week or the week after, I would not be surprised to see magician, to see the Fool card, to see those cards that talk about change, and how, and positive change, and how you can make that happen. So make sure to come back and see what happens there. Let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. And I'm looking, your overall was a time to give rather than take. And I feel like the giving is for you. It's time for you to just give to you. Indulge in some of these passions. I don't even see other people in the picture. This is just right now, it's a time for you to just go ahead and give to yourself. All right, final message from the Soul Oracle deck here for Virgo is be patient. Be patient. I've seen that card now twice in this series of readings here, and I've only done 6 readings, so I can't remember. I have trouble really remembering where I saw a card before, but I've seen that card. Be patient, and be kind to yourself as you're giving to yourself a little bit, Virgo. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. So besides indulging in these passions for Virgo, the self-care card for you is the card of truth. I've also seen this card already. Truth is different at different levels of consciousness, reserve, judgment. So just because you are coming to this area of truth, and you're looking around and saying, well, I don't know why everyone isn't indulging in their passions. Well, something has happened on your path to get you there. So we're not going to judge others who aren't quite there yet. But Virgo, definitely indulge in these passions. Be patient. Give a little to yourself right now instead of just giving to the world. And don't be self critical like Virgos tend to be. Just enjoy the passions, whatever it is this is something new to you. Just nurture it and go ahead and take the time to love it. So, Virgo, I wish you all the luck with this. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, is there some new passion? Something are you giving to yourself in a way that you normally don't? And pat yourself on the back, because that's pretty awesome of you to do. So sometimes we just work too hard. We got to take care of ourselves as well, right? Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will help you find me in the next coming weeks, where you can come back and see if we see that Fool card or that magician come up, to start to guide you and maybe how to live in this newfound indulging in your passions way. So Virgo, thanks again for being here. I wish you the best and good luck with all of this, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.